next guest, Daniel Sternklar, has worked with all the major movie studios. He's been doing special effects for years. I mean, I know recently, or you probably saw Avatar recently or in the last couple of years. And that's the one that I always remember because I watched it with my husband the other night and he was just blown away. So Daniel he's worked, like I said, with all the major studios and doing special effects and every kind. So he's going to talk to us about how to utilize interactive video marketing and more to grow your business. So I'm going to go ahead and bring Daniel on because I don't want to take a minute of his time. And by the way, he's coming back tomorrow. So you're going to get two chances to hear him, and I can't wait for you to experience this. So, Daniel, hey, how are you?
Okay, you're hearing me okay?
Yeah, hearing you
and
fine.
I think you're seeing me okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And I'm just so excited because, like I said, my brain explodes every time you show us stuff. And I'm not even going to try and capture everything that you do, but I really wanted people to understand, what it is that you do and how you do it. So I'm gonna let you take it now.
Okay. I'll give the 3-hour intro to view3d.tv, which probably would still get 5% of what we do. But anyway, I guess I'll do a little bit of intro to us. We tackle modern business challenges, and we help businesses stand out, engage audiences, and drive growth head on. We have over, 40 years of experience, how time flies. And all the obstacles that businesses face, we look at as opportunities for innovation. Something that really separates us from most agencies or companies is that we actually do research and development into new technologies and actually create new technologies. And you'll see a little bit of that today, as a matter of fact. And just to give you a little bit of an idea, our services are so varied. We have personalized interactive video technologies, mixed reality applications. We can create custom AI assistants, avatars that can speak 100 languages and frequently are mistaken as real people. They actually look very realistic. In fact, a quick side note, a funny thing happened with one of them, and maybe I'll show a little bit of that video. Is we did a little celebration for Easter video, and I got a message from someone that asked, who's her agent's information? We'd like to hire her for a series of videos. And I said, I'm her agent. And I created her. And they said, oh, is she your daughter? And I said, no, actually, she's using the latest avatar technologies that we work with. And they were pretty amazed. And what's more amazing, of course, is she can speak 100 languages. And actually, you'll get a slight demo, maybe, of a couple avatars in relation to interactive video. And we have lots of partnerships with different marketing agencies, ad agencies. We partner with videographers, web developers, social media managers. It's quite wide. And our track record shows consistent success in significantly boosting client revenues. So choosing view3d.tv means partnering with a team committed to turning your business challenges into major successes. So start your journey with us today. And I guess I'll mention real quick, meet with me at view3d.tv/meet me. And let's get to it. And actually, my background, you may not realize, is really not just a background. I'm actually inside one of our metaverses here.
Oh, so, wow. I remember seeing this. This is so cool, Daniel.
So this is actually a 3D space. And actually, these are our meeting rooms. And actually here, I still left here something. This is actually a 3D model of a gallery that's being built. And so we had a bunch of architects in here checking it out. So in any case, that gives you sort of a slight idea of that. Oh, okay. I guess I'll show this real quick. On a personal note, I'm a big animal lover, and I'm in the woods, and I get lots of visitors.
You had one there just just briefly for a few minutes, didn't you, Daniel? Walking
Oh
across.
yeah, well yeah. Here I actually took a video of my Fox visitors.
Very cool. Oh, how cool is that?
Yeah, that's actually mom and son, and they were learning to share, which was even neater.
Oh, yeah.
You'll see the other one come up eventually, and take a look.
Look at that. And folks, I wanted to mention something because Daniel has been approved by both Meta and Microsoft, and nobody gets approval from them for doing videos that you can put on your profile. And so I don't want to lose that, Daniel is late. And but I wanted people to know that this technology is available to them too in certain ways.
Yeah, actually, more correctly, what it has to do with is we can integrate social media profile information of a video viewer into a video in real time. But the actual interactive video will be typically on the landing page. And
yeah.
I'll get into that a little later.
Okay.
But what I wanted to talk about was different interactive video technologies.
Mm-hmm.
And one in particular that we'll get into is something we call interactive video pathways. A big issue with normal videos, I call them passive videos, where somebody hits play and watches and then sort of maybe might doze off or, gee, what's on Facebook? What's on TikTok, etc. That's one of the big disadvantages is the viewer isn't really engaged. And what's amazing about the pathways type technology is that the video viewer is now in control of the viewing experience where they can actually choose what it is that they want to see. And that makes a huge difference.
Oh, yeah.
And actually will help keep that prospect on your page.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of they hit play on a 5-minute video.
Yeah.
2 minutes goes by and they still didn't see what they wanted to see, what they were interested in. So they bounce and you lost that prospect just for a simple little reason like that. People are very impatient.
And that engagement that you bring is just so important.
Yeah, and the experience can be personalized in lots of different ways. Not only is the engagement higher, but more importantly, the retention is much higher. Mm-hmm. We've actually upgraded many, for instance, coaches or people have courses out there. Typically, they're using, for the most part, YouTube videos or other, passive videos. And that's an issue there is engagement and retention they don't have. When you turn it into something that's interactive, retention is higher. So a student is like, hey, I feel like I'm actually learning something. And then guess what? They come back for more courses.
Yeah, that's great.
So here I'm going to show a very simple interactive video pathways example.
Okay.
This is for a breakfast cafe. Let's see. Do I have a way? Will it share system audio right automatically, or do I need to specify? Let's see. Or actually, I guess there's no option for that. Okay, well, we'll have to hope it comes through the mic well, or I'll turn it up. But in some ways, the audio is not that important. Maybe it's better it's low, so I can talk over it.
I'm hearing you very well, Daniel. So.
Okay, well, we'll see how you hear the video.
Okay.
So this is what we call a 2-level interactive, very simple. And you can see from the thumbnail here that somewhere down the line, a question is asked. And then depending on the choice that you make, the video goes in that direction. So it's actually like an interactive movie.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Now, and here's the other thing that's great about how we can configure these videos. Is that we can put various interactive objects right on the video. So I can have a big button here for making a phone call right off the video, which would be great for a breakfast cafe. They can call in their order, for instance, or if you're a service organization or whatever the case might be. And then over here, I can have buttons for all the various social media destinations. So I can click and wind up on X. I guess we should change the icon to the new name. And you could have buy now buttons. You could have download a case study. You could have a button that's sign up for a webinar. All that right on the video, all in real time.
Wow.
So that alone makes a huge difference. But here's where the fun comes into play. So here's my question. I can make a choice, and since I got a sweet tooth, I'll click on pancakes.
Nice.
And
You
now
can
what
just
the other
feel
thing
the satisfaction there, Daniel.
that's right. They were really good.
Yeah.
That surf was fantastic. And she actually liked it. Anyway, and as you can see at the end of the video here, we have a lead capture form. Now, the lead capture form, something very interesting is our particular lead capture forms that we create can actually send the data to multiple destinations with that one submit click.
Wow.
So, for instance, it could send it to a CRM, a Google Sheet, and also the information can even be sent intelligently. So if you, let's say if you were a bigger company, it would look at the area code, for instance, in this situation, determine, oh, this lead is coming from this area. And it could say, oh, it's from Miami. I'll now send this. Not only will I send the lead to the rep in Miami, it can actually create an email that emails to that rep in Miami, hey, here's a new lead.
Wow.
Plus add it to their database of contacts.
Yeah.
So it's sort of deceiving how simple it looks, but it can do an awful lot on the back end. And but also, like if you're a MailChimp user or no user of Constant Contact or all these various CRMs that are out there, most of them have a form that you can embed on a web page, and we can actually take that code and put that inside the video as well.
That is so cool.
So we can put lead capture forms in the video in various different ways, whether it's using sort of our super duper forms, or if you prefer to use a form from your CRM.
So all of this is so interactive, and I can see what you're talking about with retention, Daniel, because this isn't what I like to think about. This isn't passive or flat. It's actually in 3D, and therefore, people are more. Do you have a cat there?
Yeah, that's my star programmer.
Yeah.
Cats always show up during official presentations.
That's right. That's right. You do, absolutely.
And
when you're on like a lot of Zoom meetings and things like that, almost always you see somebody's cat walking in front of the mirror or in front of the video.
And also what's fun is their paws always seem to create new short codes for Windows you never knew existed, Control Shift X F1. Wow, I didn't know it did that. Yeah. Okay, he is maybe settling down. We shall see. Anyhow, yeah, sorry about that little.
No, I love it.
But yeah, we're all inclusive here. Any life forms may appear at all times. And maybe I'll show a couple other examples that are kind of interesting. For instance, here, for this particular website, what was interesting is this was actually how one of their landing pages was structured. Okay. Except, of course, what we did was we actually changed the menu now to be, in a sense, a video menu. So when I hit play, and you'll see me hit a couple of these options here, it will actually play different videos. And this was actually part of a campaign, obviously, to get new subscribers. So typically, there'll be like a little intro in the background. And then I could hit truth or hell. And also, the other thing you'll notice is like the loads are, practically instantaneous. You're not sitting there waiting, for 20 seconds for the next video.
Yeah, it's so fast, and that makes a huge difference.
And maybe I guess I'll show a couple examples here.
Yeah.
Like here's one, for instance, for real estate.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that's terrific.
And I can say, hey, I'm looking to buy.
Yeah, that's great. I need to hire that real estate person.
Yeah, now a couple of these that I'm showing, like I said, I call them 2-level interactives. It's like one question and then one set of answers.
Okay.
We have done some that are 50, 100 levels deep.
Wow.
That kind of keep treeing off to get maybe more specific. And maybe I'll show one I sort of have in mind. Let's show you another example that's kind of interesting. You can see how long I've been doing this. Way back since the S6. Geez, we're up to like the S24 now. But what's interesting about this particular video that I wanted to show is something else you can do with interactive videos is you can have hotspots on real objects that then respond as though, for instance, here I'm learning how to use the camera. and we'll put hotspots on the phone so you can actually try out different options.
Oh, is that cool?
So in this case, you're learning how to use the camera.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that one little segment here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's very cool. Oh, look at that.
So now I can try it. Now, and these are what I call overt hotspots, where we're really pointing out, hey, you can click here or there. But also we could do things where it's an invisible hotspot, and that even has uses too. Like imagine, like a typical newscast, or it even could be a podcast, where you have the typical lower thirds where it says, so-and-so is speaking in their title and so on. And we can actually make that a hotspot. So when I click on the reporter's name, it could go their link tree or their social media or the link that they have at the station and so on. Anyway, what we do here while it's patiently waiting is I'll try that option, the click on, and then I can say, oh, I want to shoot video. So that's something else that's really interesting about using interactive video in yet a different way. And we've actually created things for industry with industrial equipment where I'm actually turning switches or turning knobs or whatever the case might be through interactive video, and it's as though I'm actually operating the equipment. And then the next step up from that, and we do that too, is we work with virtual reality applications. It's actually doing a VR app that actually simulates you sitting in front of the equipment. That's a whole other topic. Let's see, maybe I'll show one that has a little bit more levels to it. Here's something we did for Toyota to promote one of their pickup trucks. And the scenario here is a guy's at home, he's bored. Should he Netflix, or of course, should he have an adventure, in his new truck?
I love that.
So we have a really funny set of commercials we show. If you click on turn on TV, eventually you can escape out of it. I guess for now, for time's sake, I'll skip that option. Or, of course, we can keep it wild to have an adventure in our truck, right?
Yeah.
So let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that, Daniel. Oh, that's great. You're actually in the car and seeing that.
All right, let's do kayaking. Okay, so that goes on, and you can go back and forth and so on. We actually had a version, this is really interesting, where from the IP address, we can get an approximate location of and so we actually brought up a Google map showing dealers in the area, and then you could choose one, and you could actually configure the truck and buy it right off the video.
Wow.
So you too can watch a video and spend $30,000.
But that's that interactive, business there that you're doing. It's just amazing. And I remember the first time I ever talked to you, Daniel, I got off the phone and I was like, I can't believe this. It was just fabulous. So I'm so glad you're talking about this and View 3D TV.
Oh, thank you. Now, a couple of things I should also mention is we can take your existing videos and put our technology on top of the video. So we don't have to necessarily shoot or produce the video, but naturally, of course, we can do that as well. And in fact, in most cases, unless you need your people filmed or your premises filmed, we have so much file footage, we can probably put together a video for practically any industry. And then obviously make it interactive. And you can even also do things like typical whiteboard type videos. We can make those interactive as well and have fun with those.
Yeah, I mean, that's great.
And actually, let me show you another application of, actually, this is just simple interactive video. It actually solves a pet peeve of mine. Is there are many podcasts out there where you have someone interviewing somebody else, okay? And here's the wrinkle. At some point, the interviewer will ask, well, how do people get in touch with you? They write off their email address. They write off their website. If they're a book author, they write off, their Amazon link that takes like 10 minutes to say, Amazon.com/this/that. And you can't keep up writing that stuff down, or you're not sure how they spell their company name and so on. So we have a really simple solution for that. Is here, maybe I'll fast forward a bit. Is, as you can see, I put buttons right on the video. And so I had a button, buy the book. I click it, boom, I'm on our Amazon page. It's that easy. Don't have to worry about writing something.
Yeah, because you probably lose a lot of people with that switch to Amazon because they didn't remember what it was called or anything else. So that's terrific.
And also what's really cool is when I close that tab, I didn't lose my spot in the video. I can continue from where I left off.
Wow.
And I can even, click those buttons as the video is playing. And also for the interviewer, we're going to have a series of links for them.
Mm-hmm.
And like the interactive video, the other interactive videos that you saw, there could be buttons for phone calling, webinar invites, signing up, buying now, and so on. And you can also have things that appear and disappear. Like sometimes there are some interview shows that have several guests, so things will naturally appear and disappear as needed. And the analytics we get are crazy. We get a lot of interesting analytics. Oh, actually, something interesting, the Toyota video. They got analytics in all the different pathways that people followed. And what was really interesting, there was sort of a side benefit that was unexpected, is there were certain choices that were really popular that also meant certain people were taking certain adventures. And Toyota Engineering actually looked at that, and it actually made them do some design changes to the vehicle for the next year.
Wow.
So it actually went beyond just, getting marketing data. It actually affected the engineering of a product as well. And I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, that's very cool.
So anyway, with this demo, that to me makes this podcast like a million times more useful.
Yeah.
And we had a book author that actually did a typical, YouTube interview. And then she happened to do an interview with someone that was using our tech, and the sales increases she had through the interactive was astounding.
Yeah.
And if I said the percent, no one would believe me if I said the percentage, but unbelievably high. And I think what I can figure is, well, you get rid of the friction point of someone how to type a link or look for it or figure out how to spell it. And people who are mobile devices, for them to find a link in the description somewhere and cut and paste it, they just won't go through all that. And even people on desktop won't bother.
And that's such an important point, Daniel, because we do have different ways of viewing these. And, it always looks different on a phone than it does on your computer desktop and all those things. So, that's just really valuable.
Definitely. So you get rid of the friction factor, but also people are like, oh, it's that easy? I'll click and check it out. And guess what? Apparently a lot of those people bought.
Yeah.
We had an incredibly happy author. And obviously that's just one type of example. It applies to any type of products or services or anything else. And you could have also buttons that show sample products. I mean, it's just limitless what you can do. It just sort of goes on and on. Okay, let's see. Did I put this link up there? Oh, yeah, here we go. Now, of course, it comes down to how do you write a script for it? That is a whole huge topic in itself. And we actually have some AI technologies that we use that actually go out to the internet and can actually help do us some research. Actually, here, let me bring up, I think I have a sample link in here. Oh, and I should mention our link directory, which is view3d.tv/links. I also put a special deal in here for the summit where you can get a huge discount on interactive videos from us.
Daniel, could you mention that you just gave a
the link, real quick.
Yeah.
It's this is our link directory, which actually has some things in it the website doesn't, and vice versa. It's view3d.tv/links, and it's VIEW, the number 3, D like Daniel.tv/links.
Okay.
I like to have simple URLs. Just like our Meet Me is view3d.tv/meet me. Let's see, where did it go? Oh, here. Yeah, let's see if we still have that data there. Okay, yes. Now, of course, you can find out a lot of this information by, doing various Google searching. Let's see, hopefully you're going to load back up again. Or while that's... Okay, there we go.
There we go.
So we have an AI that we can send out. I mean, something that's important. If you're writing a script for somebody, whether it's for a video or a blog and so on, you want it to pertain to what's going on right now, and possibly even, hey, what's trending. But also one of the other important facets that I think is really important, actually in general when you're creating content online, is answering questions people have. Yeah. And also, and the source of those can be from several places. First of all, prospects that you interact with and clients you interact with. What kind of questions are they asking you? That is golden content right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when it's online content, you get a lot. You get sort of, it's like this triple win. You're helping somebody, which is fantastic. Google notices you answered a question that's out there. You get traffic,
Oh, yeah.
and then answering those questions also helps to solidify yourself. Hey, they actually know something. They really are the expert in their field.
Yeah.
So it helps substantiate your standing, in that
Hmm.
particular industry or product or whatever it might be. A great resource for questions is there's a website called Quora.
Oh, yeah.
You can try doing some, just general Google searches.
Yeah, Quora is
Fortunately,
great.
we have AI involved, so we can find content everywhere. And what's
Hmm.
interesting is we go out to various social media sites, even e-commerce sites, news forums,
Hmm.
Medium. I mean, just so many different sites. And what's interesting is
Yeah.
we get the headlines from all those places, but we actually maintain the links as well, such that they're actually active. So I can click at any of these
Hmm.
links and go directly to that story.
Oh, wow.
So what happens is this report is just a humongous library of information. In fact, we did a report for a particular client, and they were like, "Wow, we learned more about our own industry thanks to you." And they've been in the industry for like 37 years.
Yeah.
That was really crazy thing to hear. And it's very involved. It's sort of deceiving. You see just one page, but there's actually hundreds of pages behind this.
Hmm.
And we actually have also we get all kinds of stats,
Hmm.
phrases that are being searched on, potential cost per clicks, all sorts of information. And we
Hmm.
actually have a separate report dealing with just the questions, but this one sort of has a summary version of it. And
Hmm.
you can see like some questions that people are asking.
Hmm.
And there's your golden content for your blog or,
Yeah, absolutely. If you can
or
go to those
interactive video.
questions. And my husband's going to be very happy that you mentioned Quora because he spends a lot of time on there. It's great information and great to find those questions as you were saying.
Right. Reddit, and there's so many sites that
Yeah, yeah.
are great resources. We even get to the point of, for the SEO crowd out there,
Hmm.
we actually diagrammed the relationship between
Wow.
keywords and long tail keywords.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that research, of course, is useful if we want to include some of those phrases, within scripting.
Hmm.
So it gets very, very detailed.
Sure. Way more detailed than I can process right
Yeah.
now. Yeah, amazing.
Okay, so let's say though, and I'll talk way more about this tomorrow in terms of
Okay.
AI, and maybe hopefully there might even be some time left for augmented reality.
Hmm.
Is let's say you want to create an interactive video dealing with creating a course about LinkedIn.
Hmm.
How much time do I have? When am I supposed to end?
8 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully I can do some of these things still.
You
Okay.
know, Daniel, if you want to stay on a little bit longer, we can do that.
Okay. So now here I just use some very simple prompts, but something I'll show tomorrow is we actually have some prompts that are like a page long for the prompt. What you'll discover about the various like ChatGPT
Hmm.
and the various others, there's Poe, there's Claude, there's Perplexity, there's so many.
Hmm.
ChatGPT is basically the Apple of AI. There are many
Yeah,
others that are out there.
yeah,
And then in some cases, some will argue the others are better for certain things, and
yeah.
there are even different models that the engines can use to interpret information. It can
Hmm.
get very detailed. But in any case, I did something really quick and simple here about, hey, let's create a script for an interactive video pathway that teaches how to use LinkedIn to grow a business, and have a question, sort of like the Breakfast Cafe video. One question
Hmm.
with four choices, at least initially.
Yeah.
And ChatGPT dutifully comes back with some information here.
Hmm.
And when using any of these AIs, you always want to double check and verify what you get back. Some of you may have heard the term that sometimes the AIs will, quote unquote, hallucinate info, where they're almost making something up that they think is right. But guess what? It might not be. So
Yeah, right. You have to be careful.
so don't take everything as 100% true. And also, even when you use an AI, let's say to help you write scripts and so on, also take it more as an outline of what you want to do.
Yes.
And
yes.
definitely insert your own expertise and your own
Yeah.
even wording at times, into what it comes up with. Look at it as a guide that helps you.
Yes. Yes.
And I truly believe that whether you're an artist, even if you're a painter, the various AIs can actually help someone that's that creative to create something even better than the sum of its parts between the artist and the AI. And if you're a writer, I know a lot of writers, they're like, oh my God, AI, we're what are we going to do? Well, guess what? AI is a great way to check your work for grammar errors. It's also a great way to give you ideas and outlines. The only thing that's going to happen as far as jobs being replaced is people who use AI are going to be far ahead of people who don't.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid. Learn all about it. There are tons of videos on YouTube, whether you don't even know what ChatGPT is, or if you're an expert in the field, you can find videos on all levels. And of course, there are lots of people that put out courses. And
and that's so true, Daniel, because I know one of the ways that I use it is to outline something or to come up with a course structure or a mini course structure. But I don't look at it as writing things for me particularly.
Yeah, I mean, it will come up with great paragraphs of info. Then you can go and say, "Oh, I agree with that. I don't agree with that. I want to rephrase that." And also, the other thing that gets very interesting is now another AI is called Claude. Is you can take content from one AI and put it in another, and then see what it comes with.
I do that with Bard.
Yes,
exactly. Because Bard has some great examples, and I was telling them earlier that my sense of humor was developed by growing up with the Harvard Lampoon. Okay, so that's my sense of humor, and so when I put it into Bard, I can say, do this at like you would Lord of the Rings, or one of theirs that's pretty sarcastic, and it'll do it. It'll come up with that.
Oh, yeah.
It's just fun, but you have to be involved, and it has to reflect who you are.
Yes, and in fact, you can do different styles. And in fact, maybe I'll bring up one of those. Is for instance, what was I had it write a script describing, I think it was either interactive video or video testimonials, and I said write the script in the style of Shakespeare, and it did.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So you can have a lot of fun with that. But anyway, back to this little demo here. So you can see it kind of came up with an outline and even showing what the different choices would be. Developing a content strategy about advertising, competitors, and so on. And then what I could do is I could say, okay, I can take one of those selections. I can say, okay, write a script for selection A, which was the content strategy. So now it wrote detail about that. But also, like I mentioned, we can have multiple levels for these pathways. And it actually came up with multiple levels for the content strategy, where there's sort of a background video about content strategy.
Nice. Yeah.
And then the content strategy video itself can then in turn have several choices, and then you click and play that video, and that video in turn could have multiple choices as well, or just go back to the beginning, or whatever the case might be. So let's see, where was it? Okay, here it is. So here's one of our new spokespeople here. So using that script, okay, this is now a prototype. This is no way near a finished product.
Okay.
But show you a little bit how we integrated what ChatGPT said now into creating a new interactive video pathways video about LinkedIn.
Wow.
I'm Becky, and I'll pick up this idea.
Yeah, we can see her, Daniel, but we can't really hear her.
Oh, okay. That's what I have feeling is going to happen. Does that help?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay. I can.
And you would never guess, Daniel, looking at that. That's not a real person standing there.
Correct. Okay, so I can click on context strategy, for instance.
Content strategy. I'm sure people.
Yeah, the audio isn't great, but we definitely can get the idea. I mean, I think anyone looking at that would mistake it for an actual human being.
Oh yeah, yeah. I guess it's unfortunate. I don't see a way to share system sound with StreamYard. Huh, okay.
And StreamYard has its drawbacks.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Sorry about there's no. You guys can hear the audio from the videos. Well, actually, let's see here. Wonder if ChatGPT has any advice here. Maybe there's something hidden somewhere we're missing. Okay, yeah, it's sort of hallucinating a little bit. Or it really didn't come up with a real answer, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't see anything under audio. Usually there would be something there to detect to share system audio. So anyway, so it goes. But anyway, let's see, where'd she go? So now you can see that the content strategy video, and obviously she would talk a lot more about the content strategy, and we would have all sorts of titles and things, showing up in the video, screenshots, showing what LinkedIn would look like and so on.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is like just the beginning, but I thought I would show you a kind of how you start developing a script and even what a draft of the beginning work of an interactive video would be. See that the content strategy video then led to actually more pathways where you can get more explanation of, well, how do you develop a schedule, for postings on LinkedIn, or what are your objectives? How do you set up your audience? And each of these choices, can go into great more detail, and maybe even again have their own pathways once again. But the point is that people can go direct to what they're interested in.
Yeah,
that keeps them engaged, and even simple interactions like this with the info bring the attention much higher, because they'll remember, oh yeah, I clicked on that and got more detail. And also, what the other common thing we see through analytics is we see people typically go right away for a particular path, and then they come back later and try out the others.
Wow.
Oh, well, maybe I'll find out more about this, even though initially that wasn't really why I came here. So, keeping people on your website is, the dream of any entrepreneur. And
absolutely. And something like this would just be so incredible on a website.
And okay, yeah. So let me get back to what Dumont mentioned earlier is we have another technology that we call personalized dynamic interactive video that I'll get into. But the thing I wanted to mention also is both of these video technologies, something very interesting about both of them is we can integrate with your CRM such that, let's say you had, name, wife's name, pet's name, etc.
Oh, yeah.
Let's say you create an email, promoting your veterinary practice. Okay. And you can actually take the information from your CRM. We can create one interactive video, and you get an email or, the typical thumbnail that they click to play a video, and it will get information right into the video.
Wow.
So you'll actually see, hi, Mary. Hi, Dan. How's your pet? So-and-so.
How's Fifi?
How's Fifi doing? And personalization is really important. People feel like we're made for them. And the other thing we can do is, actually for both video technologies, we can put what I call a gate in front of the video, like a form that they fill out. And it could be just simply, email, name, or it could be more involved. Like we had a chiropractor that actually asked, what areas were you hurting in, and things like that. And all that information in the form will integrate into the video in real time. Also, actually, if you set up a meeting with me, you'll get a thank you video that's personalized. Will say, and actually, not only does it show your name, but we have dynamic voice technology. It will actually say your name. So there's a lot of interesting ways that you can integrate these various technologies together. Personalization is really key. Now,
and that's the one thing everyone needs to remember, that personalization is so powerful.
So we have a wide swath of clients, anywhere from solopreneurs to enterprise clients. But one of my goals is to bring new technologies to small business and solopreneurs at an affordable cost. And thanks to the guys that pay full freight, we have special pricing for small business and solopreneurs. Because I know sometimes I'll see some new tech that's out, and it's like, well, unless you show oil, there's no way you'll afford it.
Right, exactly.
It's like, oh, wow, that's great. oh, they want, $5,000 a month.
Well, yeah.
I don't know if I want to spend that much and buy a car every 4 months. So
Right.
that might not work. So anyway, that's something we're trying to change.
Okay.
Okay, I guess I'll mention this real quick since I'm kind of going down that road. Is we have a special offer for the interactive video pathways videos. If you send us all the content, all the videos, all the artwork or images that you might want in the video, we actually have a special offer that's $300 off.
Wow.
And, so anyway, go to my link tree, and you can wind up in this page and see more detail.
Yeah.
If you're interested. And I guess that's enough of the of that. Okay, so
that's powerful because it puts that in an affordable way for those of us who are small businesses.
Definitely. I mean, some of the next companies that actually do interactive work, they charge in the thousands.
Yeah.
And their hosting fees are even worse.
Yeah, and your hosting fees are pretty reasonable too.
Yeah, like $50 a month for probably people. Also, we don't care how many leads that you get. We don't charge that way. So if you get 10,000 leads, more better for you. So. Anyway, this the personalized dynamic interactive video tech it grew out of an enterprise project, and I guess I won't get into a big long story for time, but they once we did the personalized video, because they wanted to do a test with 150,000 people, and they gave us a video, and they gave us a database of 150,000 data points, names and so on, and said, go create 150,000 videos. I was like, this is going to take forever.
Yeah.
And then, typically client does edits. I was like, oh, if they do 4 edits, we're up to 600,000 and so on.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So we came up with basically the technology. It's kind of like a word merge, but for video, where, like I was mentioning earlier, we can personalize the videos. I create one video, only one, but then you could have, an email list of, 20,000 people you're sending this email to. And each one of those 20,000 will see their own info inside the video. Wow,
that is so cool.
In fact, what was hilarious is I went back to them and I said, oh, we came up with this technology, blah, blah, blah. We actually won't need that big a budget after all. And they were like, we never had a consultant tell us I need less money before. They're like, what? And you're telling us?
But that's all about that authenticity too, and coming across and explaining to people, what it is and getting their trust in that.
Oh, definitely. And then, I believe being upfront, what is good news, bad news. But, when you do things like that, you get a client that works with you for 25 years, instead of a one-off. And I always think long term, when I work with somebody, we're not looking just to get a project. We're hoping we can work with you as you grow and satisfy different needs, as things change or your offerings change and so on. But anyway,
I'm just thinking about my own business right now. We are sitting on a database of about 200,000 coaches and haven't done anything with it. And I'm thinking, man, if we were to do something like this in person,
200,000 can get a personalized video.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So, for instance, I think lately you've been talking a lot about LinkedIn in your email. So now imagine turning all that information into an interactive video, almost like, I was starting to show there. So not only now could you send to your 200,000, a little, an email about LinkedIn, you could basically summarize all that info you've been writing about LinkedIn and then turn it into an interactive video. And now you're educating those 200,000 people in a whole different way. Yeah,
that's great.
And, people hate reading. They'll get an email. They might look at it a little bit, or they might not. They'll be like, oh, I'll read that later. And the later never comes. But when they can click on the video, they're more apt to actually look at that.
Oh yeah, we've I think that whole interaction is just so different than what we're used to doing. I use a particular product that's an app, that we were able to come up with, and we almost had to, because just plain email doesn't get opened much anymore.
Right. But anyway, so this particular client said, hey, we have a lot of followers on LinkedIn and Facebook, and that's where we created this technology and got the special access to the servers.
Mm-hmm.
So from LinkedIn and Facebook, once the person has to give permission. That's a key point.
Yeah.
Also a reason why we got approved, because we're GDPR compliant.
Mm-hmm.
We can get a person's name, email address, location, and image, and actually integrate that into the video in real time with voice,
Wow.
dynamic voice. So when I play this video here, unfortunately, I guess you don't hear the audio, but
yeah, but that's okay.
in any case, you see my name and image. The
Mhm.
video was not created with my name and image in it. Those were basically you would see, we create those placeholders for that information,
Mm-hmm.
and it gets integrated in real time. So if any of the people watching the summit went to this page and gave their permissions, they would see and hear their name and image.
Yeah, that's great.
And maybe just to skip to the end here, this is the one that really gets the LinkedIn and Facebook consultants. Is, as you see, we have another, the typical lead capture form, typically at the end of the video. A big difference from the Pathways tech here, what happens is the form is filled in automatically from the social media info. So the name and email will pop in automatically. All the viewers got to do is hit submit.
Wow. And
in a sense, it's almost a slight filter in terms of who's sending you their info, because they see their info. If they're really making the conscious decision to send it, it's more likely they're actually really interested.
Yeah.
And of course, it gets that friction point of them having to type in their name and email. Gets that solved. Where hey, it's already there.
And that makes a difference.
And actually, what was it? Like 2 weeks ago, I met with a LinkedIn consultant. It's kind of hilarious. He told me he's spending like $5,000, $10,000 and more every month doing these promotions. And in the end, all he's trying to do is get names and emails. And he saw this and was like, what? You're getting names and emails for free? Wait, what? And he's like, you are going to save me so much money. When do we start?
Right now.
And we can do the same with Facebook also. And that's
and that's such a great service, Daniel, because it really does enable us to stand out from other people too.
Exactly.
And gathering that information, because people don't like to fill it in.
Oh yeah, exactly. Now, and also the videos can be viewed. There's actually a selection there that says they don't want to integrate their social media.
Mm-hmm.
So they can still see the video. They'll just see like placeholders where those things would have showed up. And I just wanted to show you, when you view one of our personalized dynamic interactive videos for the first time, you choose whether you want to connect with LinkedIn or Facebook.
Oh, cool.
And you'll log into either service, and that login process is totally from them. We have nothing to do with it.
Okay.
And then the only thing is us, you'll get a request where it says, hey, do you authorize our player? That is us. But just to show, and also, like I said, you can see underneath it says enter without social networks. So if you don't want to integrate your social network, you don't have to. Some people get shy about that for whatever reason as well. So, but you can still view the content. So it works either way. Obviously, but obviously they won't see their picture or info if they don't do that.
Yeah.
And we can do some really fun things, like people who connect with me on LinkedIn. Usually I'll send them, a thank you and also a link to a dynamic, personalized, interactive video. And we do something fun with their image.
That's great.
All right, I guess I'll give it away. Well, basically, we put their image on the cover of a magazine. Maybe I won't say which one.
Okay.
So we can actually do things creative. Besides just showing their face in the video, we can do some fun things. Well.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about an interview that I had last year with a French television network or a French network of personal brand strategists, and it was all in French. So we had to go through some hiccups there to get it right.
Yes, and actually another technology we have is I could take a video of you speaking, and then create a video of you speaking in German with your voice, or Chinese or Spanish, whatever. Maybe I'll show some demos of that tomorrow.
Yeah, that's great.
So we get past language barriers. And that also, everyone should think about that as well, is that when you create content, we actually had something very interesting happen to us. We worked with a particular client, and like 3 miles away was a Spanish-speaking community. And I said to them, hey, why don't we do a Spanish version? And they didn't say yes, they didn't say no. It just sort of hung out there for a while. And then we created the video, and they were like, well, you know what? Okay, go ahead and do that. And the interesting punchline to that was they got more response and conversions from prospects to clients from the Spanish-speaking community than the English-speaking community.
Okay, yeah.
And it actually gets even wilder than that, because one thing they were concerned about was, I think they only had like 2 people on staff that spoke Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, what if, a lot of people start calling? I mean, we can't handle that, and they're speaking Spanish. And we're like, we only have so many people that can handle the calls. And what was really interesting was probably like 95% of the people that called in from the Spanish-speaking community called in speaking English.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was so interesting. So they felt more recognized and spoken to when there was content in their native language than if it was in English. And they actually had the choice of whether they wanted to see English or Spanish.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
Maybe not necessarily get deterred if you don't have, a person of that language on staff. It may not necessarily be a deterrence from you exploring content in different languages.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was so interesting. It was like it turned out to be a rather interesting case study in a sense.
Yeah, for sure.
And, and there are different areas. You have Korean community. I mean, pretty much any nationality you can think of. Now, depending where you live, there may be, pockets of people from different nationalities that, have neighborhood areas that you could actually talk to.
Oh, that's amazing.
But yet they actually know English. It's just they feel more spoken to in their own language. I thought that was rather interesting. Anyway.
Yeah, and I'm thinking of, so many people in Europe and, around the world, English is, still a language that many people know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, especially other countries. They're more multilingual than in the States, I would say. Or, no, that's just people native to the U.S.
Right.
But, a lot of people coming in are typically multilingual, but, you have a lot of people that, come here and, all they know is their native language. I mean, all those permutations. But anyway, so there's some ideas for you all. Are there any questions out there or in the chat or anything?
I think most people are watching on the app.
Okay.
So we're not getting, because they did get VIP tickets for this.
Okay, great.
So a lot of them are going to be seeing the videos, and we are also, you guys have been hearing about this all the last 2 days. Is Daniel? We're going to feature you as an expert in our app.
Oh, great.
And you'll be able to download that and get all the direct information. So we will do that and make sure that people can see it. And we're actually going to upload all of these into the app so that people will be able, whenever they download the app, they'll be able to get this video.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, that's great. Should everyone that's speaking, definitely should have their knowledge shared. So fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. So we want to make sure that it gets out. We want to get it out to those 200,000 coaches, So yeah, every time you talk, Daniel, you really open my eyes to all these new possibilities. And as this is the second or the third time that I've talked, because we've talked, or you were on the last summit, and you're coming back tomorrow, Daniel. So give us a sneak peek at what you're going to be talking about tomorrow.
Yes. Actually, I was almost not sure if I want to share this, but I'm going to show a rather interesting technique using AI to help you know how to market to different type of companies. And even companies, for instance, do not have a website, but they're just on LinkedIn or Facebook, and a way how you can use AI to help there.
Oh, wow. That'll be great.
It's almost a technique I wasn't sure if I want to give away, but I guess I'm doing it. So.
Well, I want people to know that you're going to be back and what you're going to be talking about. So, guys, Daniel's going to be back tomorrow again, and talking to us again. And I can't wait. And I'm always so honored when you join us, Daniel, because, like I said, my head explodes.
Oh,
So the QR code is there.
yeah, this particular, the one with the airplanes there, that goes to our link directory.
Oh, okay.
Well, here, maybe I'll see. When we get out of the way here. The one on the left is actually a QR code version of a V card. There we go. Let's see. I guess I have to go back.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
So that's a way you can add me automatically as a contact on your phone.
That's
and
great.
The one on the right. Now, hopefully, the resolution is good enough that you can scan that. That's our link directory, which has a link to the interactive video special offer. And actually, I guess either later today or tomorrow, I'll add a special offer for something else that you'll see.
And Daniel, I just took a picture of those QR codes so that we can upload those.
Yeah, or I'll just send you actually the real file.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be great. Yeah. That would be terrific. So thank you so much for coming on. Like I said, you always have something new and interesting to teach us. And, I know that View 3D TV is just a great wealth of opportunity.
Oh, it is. It really, probably what I'm proudest of is how many companies we saved from going out of business during COVID. And
oh my gosh, yeah.
Now, and actually, some of the tech that was responsible for that was what I showed, the interactive videos with the lead capture, where we're getting into lead generation and the personalized videos, and actually even the AR business cards. I guess that could be another review of tomorrow if I have time to get to that after.
Yeah, that would be great.
Where we're using augmented reality technology to create an interactive business card that you can put, like I put it out in my deck or on a table, and it's actually that's a still shot. It's actually playing video, and the avatar is moving away. And like the interactive videos, all those tiles are active. So if I tap on Twitter, it goes there. And maybe if there's anyone ambitious out there that wants to check that right away, they can scan that code.
That's great.
You'll have to give permissions for your camera, and you'll see a launch icon. And once you see the live view, you can tap your screen and place it somewhere.
That's great.
So that might be too much of a preview for tomorrow, but there you go. Oops.
Yeah.
But anyway,
away everything, but I just wanted them to know that we were going to be covering some other cool stuff tomorrow. So,
definitely.
So Daniel, thank you so much for being on tonight, and I look forward to talking with you again tomorrow.
All right, and thanks a million for having me, and I hope everybody out there enjoyed the tour.